Today I'll be showing you how to upcycle old frames in your house to make them look new and fresh and just love them all over again. So all the used frames can either be used as picture frames, as mirror frames, and these frames we will be adding to our bathroom. So the finish we want to create is an antique finish. We'll be using the antique brown glaze as well as some charm silver to create this antique look. So first we are going to start with our antique brown glaze. The glazes are concentrated sealants, so you can dilute the glazes with up to 30% of water into a different container and do not pour it back into the container because the water can contaminate the glaze. But for the surface of the frame, I'm going to work such small sections at a time that it won't be necessary to dilute the glaze. I give the glaze a good stir. You can also shake the bottle. I prefer to give it a good stir just to make sure that all the colorants inside mix well together with the rest of the content. I'll now be using a damp cloth. So we dampen it with some water. Make sure it's not too wet. And I hold the cloth in a nice comfortable position in my hand. For the fine detail on the frame, instead of using a large paintbrush, I'll be using an artist brush just to make it easier for me to reach all the crevices and detail on the frame. So I work small areas at a time. I take my damp cloth and I wipe away. So the more glaze I wipe away, the more of the other paint colors will appear again. And I wipe away until I'm satisfied with the blending. If you see that there are areas where the glaze dried quickly, because all the products are water-based, you can always come back with your initial paint color, touch up and glaze again. So I make sure my cloth is clean and not too full of glaze so that I can be able to blend in nicely all the time. So over here I have some imperfections and I do want to show you how to fix them. So I'm returning to my initial color and I brush some on, little at a time, and I take my damp cloth and I just blend it in. So once we are done with the antique brown glaze, we will now move over to our charm silver to give our frame some shimmer and shine. When working with the metallic colors, it is very important to not only give your bottles a shake, but also to give it a nice stir. I'm also going to work with my artist brush, just to make sure that I reach all the detail on the frame. And I'm painting, wiping, just to give it that final touch. So now we are done with our first frame and it's ready to be hanged. I think it looks stunning and the silver just gives it a final touch. Next we'll be adding some final touches to a tray and I'll show you how to mix glaze and paint together to create a beautiful whitewash finish. If I want to only whitewash, I'll use the clear glaze, some water and paint in any color to create a whitewash surface. Something that's very unique to Tjhoko Paint is that most of the color names are named after people working in the factory. What we are going to do is we are going to mix equal quantities paint in any color of your choice. I'm going to use Olivia's Pale and glaze together and just add a drop of water to prolong the drying time. I don't need to measure 100% correctly. I'll test it on my frame, and if I feel that I need more color, I'll be adding more paint. If I feel the color is too dark, I'll be adding more glaze. You don't need to stir the clear glaze. And just a drop of water. I'm now mixing all of this together. So I'm going to just dampen a clean cloth in water. And And once again, I'll be working small areas at a time to make sure that I blend each area nicely with the previous one. So I'm first going to test to see if my mixture is the right consistency, the color dark enough. I like it. And I take my damp cloth and I just blend it in. So my whitewash effect is now completed. Next, I'll be using Sheriff Stone to add some grey to the surface as well as our Charm Silver. And I'll be doing this in a dry brush technique. And I'm going to work with a larger brush just to create a more even brushed effect. So I'm just going to use my artist brush just to reach the finer detail close to the mirror. And as a final touch, I'll be applying our Charm Silver. And I'm going to use my cloth just to blend everything in nicely. So in a few easy steps, we've created a more subtle antique finish. These items are now ready to be placed in our bathroom.
For more information on today's projects, please visit thehomechannel.co.za. Happy painting!